Alright, let's be real. If someone told you the wildest story you've ever heard, what's the first thing you'd ask? Who actually saw it happen? Well, today we're asking that exact question about the Bible. Short answer, yep. The New Testament isn't just people talking about what they heard from a friend of a friend. It includes writers who downright claimed, I was there, I saw it, I touched him. John kicks it off. We heard him, we saw him, we touched him. That's 1 John 1:1. Peter, he wasn't shy either. He's like, we were eyewitnesses of his majesty. No, this isn't some clever myth. And then there's Paul, like the ultimate plot twist. He wasn't even one of the original 12, but he said that he saw the resurrected Jesus, then hung out with eyewitnesses like Peter and James. So yeah, these weren't random bloggers in their mom's basement. They were people staking their lives on what they claimed to see. Luke literally says, I did my homework. I interviewed the people who were there. That's Luke 1:1-4. Acts, same deal. He records the apostles saying, we are witnesses of these things. Matthew, one of the original disciples. And Paul, he drops the mic. Over 500 people saw Jesus alive at once, and most of them were still around to fact check him. Okay, here's the thing. If you were making up a legend, you make yourself look good, right? But the Gospels do the exact opposite. The disciples, they look clueless. They freak out during storms, can't heal people, and constantly miss the point. Peter, the supposed rock, totally wipes out by denying Jesus 3 times. Oh, and let's not forget the disciples arguing over who's the greatest. Facepalm moment. Here's where it gets even crazier. The first people to see the empty tomb, women. Now, in their culture, women couldn't even testify in court. If you're making this up, you pick a dude with credibility. But nope, women were the first witnesses. Even his own family thought he was nuts. Mark 3:21 literally says they thought he was out of his mind. And his brothers didn't believe him during his ministry. Ouch. And don't forget his baptism. Question. If you're trying to sell Jesus as flawless, why say he got baptized, a ritual that was reserved for sinners? No, you wouldn't say that unless it actually happened. Here's the kicker. These eyewitnesses weren't getting rich and famous off this. Most of them were persecuted and even killed for their testimony. That's not how you act if you secretly know it's a scam. People don't die for something they made up. They die for what they're convinced is true. The Apostle Paul wrote in 2 Corinthians 11, are they apostles? I am more, in labors more abundant, in stripes above measure, in prisons more frequently, in deaths often. From the Jews 5 times I received 40 stripes minus 1. 3 times I was beaten with rods. Once I was stoned. 3 times I was shipwrecked. A night and a day I have been in the deep, in journeys often, in perils of water, in perils of robbers, in perils of my own countrymen, in perils of the Gentiles, in perils in the city, in perils in the wilderness, in perils in the sea, in perils among false brethren, in weariness and toil, in sleeplessness often, in hunger and thirst, in fasting, often in cold and nakedness, besides other things. Now, people don't suffer and die for something they made up. No, they suffer and die for what they are convinced is true. So, I ask the question again. Were there eyewitnesses of the events described in the Bible, according to the New Testament? The answer is a resounding absolute yes, from apostles to disciples, even crowds of hundreds. It's all about first-hand testimony. And those awkward, embarrassing details, they actually make the case even stronger. So, I hope, if even by a small measure, that this video helps you gain confidence in the Bible story, that it deepens your trust in the eyewitness testimony of these men. For they gave their lives so that you can know the exact truth about what Jesus said and did. Okay, now, if you've gained insight from this video, you know what to do. Smash that like button and crush that subscribe. We out.